take the Skyway.
Ah, the Pulaski Skyway. New Jersey's greatest thrill ride. Highway to my heart. You know, when the Skyway opened 83 years ago, it was considered one of America's great engineering feats, a symbol of our power and ingenuity, rising in the same era as the Empire State Building and the Golden Gate Bridge. Today, it's a symbol of the exact opposite.
This bridge is a D-, ready to become an F.
The utter neglect and embarrassing state of our nation's infrastructure, the short-sightedness of voters, the cowardice of politicians, and while I'm at it, let me throw this in. Our laziness. The Skyway's in such bad shape that it's going to be closed to eastbound traffic for 2 years.
That's a long time they're going to be closing that down. A very long time. And it's going to have a lot of traffic all over the place here.
So steel can go on for 1,000 years. We haven't figured out what is the length of time if we maintain it properly. We haven't done some of the simplest things, and some of these things are just mop and pail kinds of solutions. Basic maintenance of painting the structures, protective coating on the steel, but we wait until bridges are falling apart and we spend just enormous amounts of money when we could have saved many of these structures earlier.
Did you hear that? We couldn't even be bothered to paint the damn thing every once in a while. That's like a bratty teenager who refuses to clean up his bedroom. Part of this is just lack of money. Our Transportation Trust Fund, which is used to fund transportation projects like repairing the Skyway, is running on fumes. It's supposed to be filled by money from the gasoline tax, but all that money is going to just pay off the debt at this point. Basically, rather than raise New Jersey's second lowest in the nation gas tax, politicians have chickened out and just borrowed more and more. In 1998, Governor Christie Whitman proposed raising the gas tax a few cents, and Democrats blocked it. McGreevey appointed a panel to see what to do about the trust fund, and they suggested a 12% increase in the gas tax. He backed off. And when Governor Corzine took office, we knew the trust fund was in trouble. Gas was $2.32 a gallon. He could have raised the tax a nickel, and now no one would know the difference. Instead, he borrowed $6 billion.
The reason why that this project was never done in the past, because this is a $1.2 billion project and it would have eaten up the trust fund for the rest of the state. So think about it politically. If we put all the money in the trust fund on one project. That's why it hasn't happened. But we can't pass the buck any further. We have to take this step.
Governor Chris Christie has gotten even craftier. You know, I've heard him tell this story a million times about the money tree.
Here's what you do. Just go out in the backyard and pick the money off the money tree. And then take it to the store. You can have what you want. And I look at her and I say, but Mom, there's no money tree in the backyard. And she said, exactly.
You see, Christie does have a money tree, though. It's called the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. See, the money for the Skyway repairs was taken from the Arc Tunnel project. That's the Hudson River rail tunnel that would have augmented this pathetic, aging rail tunnel, the only passenger rail tunnel under the Hudson River. But that's Port Authority money. And isn't Port Authority money supposed to go to the port and bridges and tunnels? But the administration justified the use of Port Authority money for the Skyway project by claiming the Skyway is an entranceway to the Lincoln Tunnel. Yes, the Lincoln Tunnel. Even though anyone who knows the area knows it's an approach to the Holland Tunnel, and the Lincoln is miles away. That story's not as far-fetched as a backyard money tree, but it's pretty close.
Don, this would have been one of those projects. Let's kick the can down as far as we can.
But this was found money, Port Authority money.
Well,
had not been expected.
Those are your words, found money. You know, I don't want to get into that debate.
Why the repeated profiles in cowardice from our fearful leaders? That's our fault. Poll after poll shows New Jerseyans are strongly against any hike in the gas tax.
You know, I don't know if that would make a difference.
And politicians being politicians, they want to do what's going to get them elected. Now, I have proposed allowing us to pump our own gas in New Jersey. That would make gas a few cents cheaper per gallon, and then we could raise the tax a few cents. It'll all come out in the wash. But self-service gas, polls show, is even less popular than a gas tax hike. We're just too damn lazy.
Any kind of funding would make my job easier, but the reality is if you ask the average person on the street, they don't want the gas tax raised. So it's a non-starter. Ask anybody in Washington, Democrat or Republican, nobody wants to raise the gas tax. Nobody wants to increase tolls. So at the end of the day, what do? We get the infrastructure that we're willing to pay for.
So if you're sitting in traffic sometime over the next 2 years at the Pulaski Skyway, or traffic in one of our hundreds of other crumbling bridges that need to be fixed, and you're mumbling and cursing under your breath, make sure you're cursing out the right person. Yourself. Take it easy, Jersey.